in the women's singles on the court adjacent to us as well, and Lee Shui.
Okay, crossing first. What the choice? Yellow or blue? Yellow?
Of course, I'll focus on this one here as the umpire Eddie Rutianto goes through the pre-match preliminaries. Another big shock in the last match. This would be another big shock if Sho Sasaki can pull it off. But the head-to-head record suggests not. Sasaki, the 29-year-old left-hander from Japan, up against the number 2 seed with well, things opening up after Sonny Dwi Kunkoro lost to Derek Wang in the last match, so the Singaporean taking on Darren Liu of Malaysia to meet the winner of this one. Yeah, head-to-head they've met 4 times, and Chen Long's won all 4, and all of them in straight games, the last in November at the Hong Kong Open. As you can see, his win-loss ratio this year pretty superb from Chen Long. And in fact, one of the defeats, he had a shoulder injury in the Asian Badminton Championships, and I think the other 2 he actually didn't play. Gave a walkover, and actually he did lose to Thomas Sugano, didn't he, in the Indonesian Open. As for Sho Sasaki, well, came through against Alistair Casey in round 1 pretty comfortably. Well, ranking 18, but he has been as high as 6 last year, but it's been, as you can see from the win-loss ratio this year, an indifferent 2013. There I mentioned the head-to-heads. Taking nothing for granted though, Chen Long. This is a player in Sho Sasaki that reached quarterfinals of the last World Championships, and Chen Long got knocked out in the first round.
Yes, Chen Long has been asked about that match quite a number of times by media persons, and he probably hates it and wants to wash it away, but at least so far it's become some kind of a signature match for him. But he's been on a good roll since then, winning the Olympic bronze medal in London the year after, in the same venue where he lost to Kevin Corden. And started off in a totally different way.
Ladies and gentlemen,
2 days
on my
ago.
right, Chen Long, China. And on my left, Sho Sasaki, Japan. Sho Sasaki to serve, love all, play.
Well, this is a test for Chen Long, one you would assume he will get through, but not expecting as easy a ride as he had in game 1, where he well, was a different class to Luca Raba of Austria.
1 love.
Good start though from Chen Long. We can see that he's got some strappings, his left ankle, his playing shoulder, his right shoulder, and he's got some kind of stocking on his right leg, so hopefully it's just precautions. Well, that's a very, very good shot from Sho Sasaki.
It's over, 1-all. Over 2-1.
The All England champion here, hoping to book his place in the 3rd round. But he knows against Sho Sasaki he's going to have a tough opponent here.
2-all.
The Olympic Sho Sasaki made it through out of the group stages, but then faced Lin Dan in the second round, and we all know who won the Olympics. And he did take Lin Dan to 3 games, though. Just wonder why his form has dipped this year, particularly when you see him playing.
3-2.
We've seen some really good badminton, haven't we, so far in this game?
So it's over.
Yeah, and it's a little bit worrying here. It seems like Chen Long is having some small trouble coming out on his right leg.
You mentioned that stocking, you can see there.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not there for nothing, is it?
Sometimes it's there as a mental thing if you're a big favorite. Sometimes it's nice to have a little strapping on and so on if things should go wrong.
So it's over. 5-4.
It'll be really interesting to follow this in the remainder of the match, because the beginning has not looked so good for Chen Long. I'm a little bit worried about his physical condition, which is normally his strong side. Let's see if it's just beginning that's a little bit off here.
Big miss.
6-4.
The chance was there for sure. Didn't expect to miss that one. It's not unusual though, is it, for strappings? And I mean,
No, there's a lot. Almost every player has something, some small injury, trouble, or precaution not to.
well, I can't see anything on Sho Sasaki.
So it's over. 5-6.
Wow.
6-all.
We had this yesterday when we had the #1 seeds in the mixed doubles. The Chinese pair, and the crowd were quiet and not what they're expecting. And it's kind of similar kind of feel right now, isn't there, in the TianHe Gymnasium? Right?
It is, and last year we were in Wuhan watching the Thomas Cup, and we just saw another Chen Long. Looked totally different back then. Hopefully he will get into that gear as well, but at the moment he's just started out a little bit lighter, so to speak. Of course, also tons of pressure on him playing his first World Championship.
And not a great draw either, really. I mean,
no,
Sasaki's not easy, and then, you know, Lin Dan possibly in the quarters.
7-6.
Well, plenty to think about here for Chen Long early on. Now trying to encourage him.
Right.
Well, hardly time to panic, is it, for Chen Long and his supporters?
The score isn't a big problem right now. The problem is the way he's been playing. I mean, it's not the same look of confidence as we've seen earlier. Great play. It's just Sasaki, we have to give him that as well.
Yeah, we should.
Sasaki has been played really well.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, and he works, he has been working in the last few years very hard on the mental side of the game, Sho Sasaki. And as you can see from his physical shape, he's done a lot of gym work. He knew that, you know, obviously he didn't have long left in his career and he needed to get quicker on court. So he worked very hard on various parts of his makeup.
10-6.
Probably looks as fit as I've ever seen him, really.
So there's some unusual mistakes from Chen Long. He was so precise in his shots a year ago. So what if these strappings and bandages, what if they're not just precautions?
Well, I know he really genuinely had a shoulder injury. I was in Taiwan for the Asian Badminton Championship, and he did play the final, but I know behind the scenes there was a lot of talk about whether he would or not. There were doctors involved, and so that shoulder injury was real.
So he'd had to take a break coming back home from that tournament. No doubt about that, so he couldn't practice. So he started all over again. And perhaps he isn't at the level he wants to be. Perhaps he feels that he hasn't practiced what he should to be at his best.
Towards his coaches there. That's what we expect. I know we were talking to Jill, and I know you've been talking about relationships in badminton, and how it can affect you on the court. Chenlong's hitting stride now, isn't it? And I was just thinking, Xi Jinfang's been commentating, hasn't she, this week for Chinese television, Lin Dan's wife. I don't think she can be too critical in her analysis of the way Lin Dan's going to play this week.
No, that depends. If that's her normal style back home, then she could, but I guess it's not.
Okay, okay, it was wide, but he's trying to play the shots now, and looks like he can get into a position where he is going to play winners. 11-9 though to Sho Sasaki at the interval.
Really interesting start to this match, because I thought it would be just a walk in the park for Chen. It doesn't seem like it's going that way at the moment, so the question is, can he raise his game, increase the pace in his movement and his shots? That'll be really, really interesting, because he's of course, together with Lin Dan, a big favorite to progress to the final.
Yeah, I mean, there's 3 players here this week that you think are the standouts in the men's singles. One's unseeded, obviously Lin Dan, and Chen here and Lee Chong Wei.
Yeah, and we don't know how Lee Chong Wei we've seen, but we also seen Lin Dan, but not against a very strong opposition. So we don't know how his form is really.
He looks to me fit, and he looked like he was. I mean, as you said, it wasn't a real test, but you couldn't have asked any more from him the way he played.
No, but we'll have to wait until he meets higher quality players before we make any judgments on how good is he actually. Can he win the World Championship again?
Service over. 10-11.
Excellent touch, particularly the one low down there from Sho Sasaki.
It's very good at the net, its backhand side.
Just amazes me, obviously. I've played the game to any kind of level, but the way they're able to control the shuttle from that low down, it's hard enough just to get there and reach it. And play the kind of shot you need to. Time, Sasaki.
So it's over. 11-12.
Well, from 10-6 down to 12 all. Unexpected miss there from Chen.
13-12.
Quite wide, but actually a good call by Chen. remember that he wasn't really stretching his match 2 days ago, his first match of the tournament. So he hasn't really been tested so far, and perhaps we should give him credit for just playing himself into the stadium here in Guangzhou. Very quick recovery. Oh.
Thank you. Right. Service over.
女士们、先生们，3号场地的比赛即将开始，请裁判员、运动员入场。
Ladies and gentlemen, the match on R32 will start soon. Please welcome the technical officials and the athletes to the court of play.
Service over.
Well, it seems like order has been restored here.
Since the score was 10-6, it's actually now leading 10-4 Chen, and if Sasaki is to have any chance of winning this match, he must win this first game.
Well, he's not taken a game off Chen yet in their 4 meetings. Shots like that might help.
And that's what has puzzling me a little bit. I mean, it can't be that Chen is afraid of Sasaki. He's beaten him 4 times. He's never ever lost a set. So it could be the pressure of playing in front of a home crowd, or it could be something like not feeling completely on top of his
在
game.
3号场地进行的是男子双打比赛，由中华台北运动员李胜龙、蔡嘉欣对阵德国运动员及德国队约翰尼斯。 裁判员中国香港欧文峰，发球裁判员加拿大戴尔西斯。
The umpire, Stephen Lowe. Service judge, Eric DeRoche.
His judgment from Sho Sasaki there. And
50.
now things looking good for the number 2 seed, Lee Yong-bo, sitting a little more comfortably than he was maybe 5 minutes or so ago. I mean, there is a theory, isn't there, Steen, that sometimes it's good to have a bit of an early test in these championships.
Yeah, definitely. Also the theory that you should at some point survive a difficult match to win.
As long as you
all.
survive it, obviously.
Yeah.
I mean, you saw that maybe at Wimbledon with Andy Murray, you know, in his 5-setter with Verdasco in the quarterfinals, you know. There's 2 sets down there, and the semi-final seemed a lot easier. 5 game points here to Chen Long.
20, game point, 15.
Well, he's in his stride, isn't he? Down 21-15 in the end is a pretty comfortable opening game, especially from 10-6 down.
Yeah, it looked like it's going to be this walk in the park that I sort of anticipated, but I'm still not impressed with the way he's been playing.
And if you are suggesting, confirmation there of the scoreline in the opening 22 minutes it took to play that opening game, if you are suggesting that there may be, and we don't know, obviously we don't know the ins and outs, and it's very difficult to find the information out, that there is any kind of physical problem with Chen Long, but if there is, Lin Dan will be aware of that, won't he?
He will be aware of it.
So if that is the case and they are meeting the quarterfinals, that will be a big advantage for Lin Dan.
Yeah, he will be trying to exploit it if that's the case. And, I'll say that even if he's physically okay, he needs to play at a higher level than this to be. I'm almost positive that he's not going to beat Lin Dan playing like this. And he's definitely not going to be the one facing later on in the tournament, for instance, in the semi-final, playing like this.
But there's time for him.
There's time for him, and it could be just the tension of it all, but I guess the other players in that half are watching, or someone is telling them to watch this match, because at some tournaments Chen Long has looked almost as unbeatable as Li Chongwei and Lin Dan, but in my opinion that's not the case here, and we must remember that it's Sho Sasaki, and he played well in the beginning of the match, but what has he won? 5 matches this year, lost 6, so it's not like we're seeing an opponent that is on top of his game either.
Well, his last 3 events lost in the first round of the Singapore, second round of Indonesian Open, and the second round of the All England.
Yeah.
And we must remember Chen Long did lose to Tommy Sugiyato as well, first round of the
Second game,
Indonesian Open.
level.
And, just have to pause there, shuttle from men's doubles on the adjacent court. Let's just
Play.
come onto court 1 here.
Oh. Service over. 1 love. Service over. 1-0.
It's strange because Chen Long has won the first game and he's leading 2-1 here, and the hall is completely silent.
They're not enthused, are they, with what they're seeing? I mean, you know, there's Lin Dan in terms of the affection of the public in China, isn't there? And then there's the rest. I mean, we just had the women's singles world #1 on court, although she won very convincingly. But again, compared to what we'll get later on when Lin Dan's on court, it was minimal in terms of appreciation, wasn't it? I suppose it's understandable why Lin Dan's known as he is, you know, 4 world titles, 2 Olympic golds.
Biggest player ever in badminton, so definitely deserves the attention.
I feel his wild card was correct as well.
you could always discuss. It depends on what side you look at it from. You could argue that he hasn't been really supporting the BWF system this year, but then again, he's the biggest name, the greatest player ever in badminton. Of course, he should be at his own country's World Championships.
And what would you rather? Him retire? Would the sport rather Lin Dan retires? No, they wouldn't. They want him here, don't they? You know?
Then he can retire afterwards.
You say afterwards.
After the World Championships.
What he said? He said he was pretty categoric in his press conference before that he wouldn't be.
Okay. Where will he be playing then?
He didn't say that.
That's the question.
He didn't say that, but he said whatever happens this week, you know, win or lose.
But definitely, it would be great for badminton to keep Lin Dan in the tournaments. We've lost two iconic players within a year, Peter Gale and Taufik Hidayat. Players that the badminton audience know very well. They love to see them play. That's the same about Lin Dan still.
Chen obviously is going to keep going, it would seem, for a little while longer.
I think Chen will advise Lin Dan to stop playing immediately, actually.
Yeah, put your feet up, come on, you enjoyed it. You know it makes sense.
Think how many big events Chen have won. How many he would have won had Lin Dan not been playing. He would have been the world champion.
You can't look at, it's like in any sport, you know, Tiger Woods hadn't been around, you know, how many would have, Mickelson, you know, you can't.
Because the dynamics would, of course, be totally changed.
I mean, look at the World Championships. I mean, I know he lost in the final last time, Chen to Lin Dan, but he hasn't lost to Lin Dan every time.
No, and he might have lost to any other player. It might be a finals curse instead of a Lin Dan curse.
7-2.
It's also nice for a sport to have a rivalry.
Yes. It's been, I think, an impressive second game so far from Chen Long here. He's finding the angles. Looking very comfortable. Look at that. That is typical Chen Long style shot, isn't it? The angle of the racket there.
Totally in control now. It would be natural if his mind also would wander a little bit sometimes to the match tomorrow against Lin Dan.
Question, of course, Lin Dan makes it through as well. Well, like Sasaki Pung's a wily player in terms of that he's, you know, he's not going to be overawed by the occasion, that's for sure. But wasn't it? Well, big contrast to the state of affairs in game one.
So it's over 4-9.
shot here. Cross court smash.
5-9.
10 of the last 34 points. Sho Sasaki's managed to win.
Playing on the backhand side.
6-9. 11-16.
That was such a shot, wasn't it?
Really soft touch there.
7-9.
4 points in a row.
Midcourt in the line.
You're right there. Nice, that thing.
Service over. 10-7.
Chen Long, and he's looking good for the third round here.
Smash. Sasaki. Totally ready, Chen Long. Follow up as well.
One for the second. 41 for the second.
Pictures of Sho Sasaki here in his defense.
11-7. Play. Service over. 8-11.
As an opponent, Darren Liu, Derek Wang. Neither really should cause Chen Long trouble, should they?
On the French series, but I don't see it was a late round. Chen Long had to make down the win.
Oh, yeah. And then Lindown quarterfinals. One with Shu.
Then in the next round.
Service over. 12-8.
Get a strange feeling in this match here. It's sort of like it's already been decided, and we're just waiting for the score to go to 20
Yeah,
in some way. So
it's true.
I don't think Sho Sasaki believes that he can turn this match around. He's still giving very good efforts.
Thirteen, 8. 16-8.
Change your mind about Chen Long though, in terms of your doubts by watching this second game?
I think his timing is much better than the second game. Still, if I were the other nation's coaches, to perhaps play Chen Long, still gain a little bit of hope because
9-10.
he doesn't look invincible. Seeing just one match here, I would like to take that back again. I think stand a fine chance to beat him in the semi-final. So yeah, yesterday I played at a fast pace. He was playing 3 games. It was really fast paced. Be interesting.
A lot of ifs and buts at the moment there, isn't there? Because will Chen Long be in the semis, you know? We've been down to the first match before, you know?
Speed, precision.
Been a good workout for Chen Long. Feel a little more relaxed now. 2 points away from victory.
Singles coach had in the picture there. Player Kita Masuda.
Play.
A bit of style,
Match
Chen Long.
point 12.
TianHe Gymnasium.
Match won by Chen Long. 21-15, 21-12.
still to come for Chen Long, but he's done his work for today, through to the third round. He'll face Darren Liu or Derek Wang. Next up, it's women's singles action for us. Wang Xian against Pai Xiaoma. China against Chinese Taipei. And this is how things look.